This is the Diamond Hogs Podcast with Mason Choate and Robert Stewart.
Welcome to the Diamond Hogs Podcast. I'm your host, Mason Choate, joined by Robert Stewart and Christian Cheetham. Once again, we are live from Charles Schwab Field, where Arkansas just fell to Ole Miss 2-0 in the College World Series semifinal elimination game. Ole Miss going to play for a national championship. Arkansas going home. What a season it was. We were just talking about it before we started recording this episode. You can't be mad at that game. That was an amazing baseball game, an incredible pitcher's duel. If you want to be mad about something, yeah, you can be mad that Arkansas didn't get hits, but you also have to look at it from the other side. I mean, DeLucia had a historic game, and that, people get mad when you say that's baseball. It is baseball. I don't know if any team in the country would have hit him today. He was just that good. And Ole Miss, there's a reason they're playing for a national championship. They're a good baseball team. Arkansas is a great baseball team. They were one of the final three teams in college baseball left playing. So to be upset and to say that this season was not a success and to say that this team underachieved, it's just not. It's not. None of that is true. And we'll get to some reactions that we've been seeing on social media, but before we do our normal, this is where you can listen to us, I just want to give these two guys a chance to tell the listeners how they feel, because I feel like we need to just get that out before we talk about the game.
I mean, I hate to get all sentimental here, but how much fun have we had these last 3 weeks? Yeah. I mean, if you think back to this time last month, we're in Hoover and we're like, no, this team's not making it out of Stillwater. Well, we didn't know it was going to be Stillwater at the time, but there was no way the Razorbacks were going to make it out of the regional. Those high scoring games with Oklahoma State, just incredible baseball. For them to go to Chapel Hill, take 2 out of 3 from the number 10 team in the country, and punch their ticket to Omaha. How about that? And then for them to come here to Omaha, go over 500, win 3 games. You win 3 games in Omaha, generally you're playing for a national championship. It is a tough I guess bounce or tough luck that they're not, but it was this week in particular just a whole lot of fun to be here for this baseball. And Dave Van Horn said it after the game. That's baseball. It is.
Yeah, I just want to say, thank you, Mason, and thank you, Robert, before I get to the baseball part, thank you, Mason, thank you, Robert, for letting me come along with you guys and, bringing me on the pod a couple months ago and just opening my eyes to this, world of, covering sports and journalism and stuff. It's been an honor to be here with you guys. And like Robert was saying, this has been one of the most fun I've had, or most fun weeks I've had in a long, long time. Just an incredible trip, staying in different hotels every night, but getting up early, coming to the ballpark and watching a lot of great baseball. And then with Arkansas, like we've been saying a couple weeks ago, a month ago, we had no idea where we would end the season. A lot of people thought we're not getting through the regional, and if we get through the regional somehow, there's no way we're getting through the super regional. But they did it, and sometimes it was unconventional with those high scoring games in Stillwater, and then they go to Chapel Hill and beat UNC pretty easily, and come here, win 3 games, play Ole Miss, a hot Ole Miss team who they just dominated today. They just dominated. DeLucia was unbelievable, and but besides that, I'm as far as my emotions, I'm just bummed. I'm just bummed that it's over, because it was such a great, fun season. I got to be involved in a lot of different ways with the Razorbacks baseball team this year. And, working at the stadium, doing the podcast, coming here, this is a year I'll never forget. And I'll be telling my family and kids about this for a long time. The cherry on top would have been us winning, because that would have just been unbelievable. But, final 3, winner take all game to go to the championship would have been, or this was perfect. This was great. Having it this way is fine. I'm a little bummed, but I'm not, super upset. you can't get mad. They both teams pitched great, getting hits every now and then, but we just didn't have quite enough to get it, those bounces that usually go our way the last couple of weeks, and just wasn't quite enough today. But yeah, proud of that team. Thankful for you guys, and I'll let someone else talk now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful for you guys as well. I'm thankful for all the listeners, because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the people listening right now, if it wasn't for the businesses who supported us. We bust our butts to get you a podcast, to not only give you a podcast, but to cover it via Twitter, via the websites that we write for. We do all of that, but it would not be possible if you didn't read it, if you didn't follow us, if you didn't listen. So, yeah, I'm thankful for everybody. And speaking of people who support us, you can listen to us on hitthatline.com and on the Hit That Line podcast network. That's where we're at. I guess really just this episode and probably a season recap, and then we'll be done with this bad boy. But you can listen to those on the Hit That Line podcast network, and you can find them on the HawgBeat YouTube as well. And the reason we're here is because of people like Matt Morris State Farm. And just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you'll get? You will get good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. In fact, State Farm agent Matt Morris is your go-to agent located in Central Arkansas for the service you deserve at the price you want. So try combining home and auto today. State Farm agent Matt Morris will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call 501-568-3222 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants are subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Did you mention that we're on the HawgBeat YouTube?
I did.
There we are. Okay, great. We are also here because of the lovely folks who own the First Seat Pub and Grill in Bentonville and Barley and Vine. They're right next door to each other in downtown. Barley and Vine's an awesome place to grab a drink. They've got 32 different craft beers on tap. Red, white, sparkling wine by the glass, by the bottle. It's great, laid-back, chill vibe. Awesome place to watch the Hogs, just like the First Seat. They've also got some really good food there. Burgers, wings, nachos, sandwiches, and more. If you're interested, go see them at 106 Southwest 2nd Street in Bentonville. Barley and Vine is located at 113 West Central Avenue, Suite 103. And Mason's going to tell you about the Odd Soul.
Yes, the Odd Soul, who was a new sponsor who came on with us for this trip, but we're definitely thankful for them, and we're going to have to run by that place when we get back and go have a bite to eat, maybe watch Ole Miss in Oklahoma. But the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria, they're in downtown Springdale. They got plenty of pizza options, and they got rotating beer taps. You just go to @OddSoulBeer on Twitter and see what they have available that day. They also got wings, calzones, subwiches, whatever you want. Go to their website, theoddsoul.com, and you'll see all their food options, or give them a call, 479-927-6399. That is the Odd Soul, located at 126 West Emma Avenue in Springdale. All right, guys. So Dylan DeLucia versus Connor Noland. It was incredible. DeLucia got the best of the Hogs. He throws a complete game shutout. Let's just read his stat line. Let's do that. So I know it doesn't do it justice, but DeLucia, 9 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs. What the heck was that? Okay. Holy cow, that scared the crap out of me. Okay, so DeLucia, 9 innings, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts, 113 total pitches after he threw 100-plus pitches on Saturday. Wait, was it Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday. And then I'll just go ahead and read Nolan's stat line, because even though he gave up 2 runs, Nolan was incredible. 8 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, no walks, 7 strikeouts on 84 pitches. You can't ask for better baseball than that. You just can't. I mean, I guess you could ask, well, Arkansas, hey, get some hits, get some runs, but it was a pure game of defensive baseball and great pitching. And realistically, that's why you come to the ballpark. That's what you want.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, of course it's tough, but consider the fact that game took 2 hours and 6 minutes. I mean, you could barely process the fact that the Hogs were running out of outs so quickly, just with how quickly they were happening. It was crazy. I mean, Nolan Nolan was 9 up, 9 down. He did give up a single to Dunhurst there in the third, but an awesome 3-6-3 double play started by Peyton Stovall there. I mean, 2 leadoff runners reached base the whole game, and both turned into Ole Miss runs. I mean, Connor Noland in 8 innings, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times did he face the minimum. Got another big double play to do so in the 6th. Caden Wallace starting that one. But, I mean, that stretch between the 1st and the 7th for DeLucia there, he retired 18 out of 19 hitters. That's just ridiculous. I mean, the Hogs didn't have a single base runner with fewer than 2 outs, didn't get the leadoff man in any of the 9 innings, sort of goes without saying. I don't know, man. That was very impressive, especially considering that he's not used to pitching on 5 days rest to throw just, 113? He threw 114. So that's 227 pitches in 6 days. That's insane. You just got to tip your cap. It sucks, especially when you consider that 2018 ended in the same fashion. You go down with a complete game shutout. That's as tough as it gets. But it certainly wasn't Connor Nolan's fault. I mean, that may well have been his best outing in a Razorback uniform.
Yeah, I mean, Connor Nolan, you cannot be mad at him, and I don't think anybody is mad at him. Everybody said that, Nolan left it out there. He did what he needed to do, and they couldn't get it done at the plate. No Hog had more than 1 hit. Wallace, Turner, Lanzilli Moore are the only Hogs with a hit in the game, and they're all there in the heart of the lineup. Nobody else did anything. And so there were no free handouts in this game. It was great defense, no walks, no hit by pitches. It was just a pure baseball game. You had to fight to win that, and Ole Miss fought a little bit harder than Arkansas and won it, and that's just how it goes. And I think as far as just recapping the game, that's all there is to say. It was just a pitcher's duel. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Go break down every Arkansas hit and how it didn't turn into a run? Arkansas lost the game. And I think that we're going to have our postseason recap episode. We're going to have we owe you a big recap episode, whether you want to listen to it or not. We owe you that, and we feel like we have to talk about it as well because it's a lot. And we cover the baseball team, so that's what we're going to do. But that's not what this episode's for. What I do want to talk about is the people who say that this is not a success and, Arkansas is cursed and this is, classic Dave Van Horn. You don't understand baseball, that's just Dylan DeLucia threw a historic game today. I don't know who was going to get a hit off of him and score a run. Arkansas got some hits, but they didn't score runs. But it was a success of a season, and I say that because of this. Because I tweeted out, people didn't expect Arkansas to be here, and everybody's like, well, they were preseason number 3, preseason number 5, whatever they were preseason. The expectation should be Omaha. I'm saying this from a perspective of a month ago when you didn't think this team was going to get out of a regional. And here they are, the 3rd team left in Omaha. They're a couple of hits away from a national championship. That's what people didn't expect a month ago. Maybe preseason you expected them to be in Omaha. Did you expect them to get this far? I don't know. But to say that this was expected is just false. It's all based off of what the expectation was then. You can't say preseason expectation because that's a long time ago. Preseason expectations don't mean a thing in baseball, nor do they mean a thing in any sport. So, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a good point. You have to really keep this in perspective. Caden Wallace, I think, did a good job of that after the game. He's like, it's a great position to be in. If you told us before the year that you'd be within 3 runs of playing for a national championship, I think you'd take that. The bottom line is it's very, very hard to do this. I mean, Arkansas and Ole Miss both got hot at the same time. One stayed hotter for 27 outs longer than the other. It's very hard. It's just very hard. I mean, considering the end of the way the end of the season went, to be here to be we're still talking to you to be here at the ballpark on day 7 of the College World Series it's most definitely a success.
I agree. And I really don't know what else there is to say. Christian?
Yeah, I think like we're going to do in our postseason recap, we're going to talk about some of the key players that helped us get this far. But I think something that we should talk about right now is just Connor Nolan, how he turned around the end of his season, though. I know we talked about it a little bit in the press conference. There was a lot of questions about that. But, he went through that stretch against Auburn, Vanderbilt, Bama, Florida, which is not an easy stretch, but he was giving up 5 runs a game. And then to turn it around when we hit Grand Canyon, 7 innings versus Grand Canyon, 1 run, and then the bullpen appearance we won't talk about. And then North Carolina and Stanford, 6 2/3 and 7 2/3. And then today, 8 innings. This is the second time he's pitched 8 innings all year, and the other time was against Ole Miss. Probably is one of his other better starts of the season. So, I think Connor Nolan is up there with, definitely postseason MVP nomination, and I'm just, proud of the way he stuck through that adversity and figured it out. Whatever he was doing, he figured it out and started pitching better when they needed him to. And he was there, in this final game of the season, went 8 innings and put him definitely in a position to win. 2 runs. If your starter goes 8 innings, gives up 2 runs, you have a chance to win. And our bats just couldn't quite, break through. But, Connor Nolan, what a heck of a season. And, he was fun to watch.
Yeah, I think it was kind of ironic. Before the game, Peyton Paulette posted a video of him throwing a ball. And you think back to before the season when Paulette, announces, hey, I'm going to have Tommy John. Then you're thinking, okay, Nolan's your ace. And for a while there, he looked like an absolute ace. And then you mentioned that there at the end of the year, he kind of fell off a little bit. You didn't really know what you were going to get, not only from Nolan, but from anybody. And then for him to finish the season as a bona fide ace, as the best pitcher on that Arkansas. Like, I don't know if any other Arkansas pitcher does that today. I don't think any other Arkansas pitcher does that. And to go, toe-to-toe with Dylan DeLucia, who's having a historic performance, and there's no shame in what Connor Nolan did, giving up 2 runs, no shame at all. That was an awesome start. And so, I don't know. That's it, That's the end of the season. It's how it goes. That's baseball. At some point, a season has to come to an end, and Arkansas' season is over. And it was 100%, absolutely no question, a success of a season. Getting to Omaha is a success. Arkansas won 3 games in Omaha. That's a success, and that's really all I have to say.
Yeah. There is actually something I want to clarify. I tweeted from the first Van Horn press conference here. He said, and this is I realized as soon as I hit send on the tweet, but it's very out of context. He said that I don't want the players to feel like it's not, or I don't want the players to feel like it's a failure if you don't win it. And the context of the quote, he says it on both sides of that particular remark. Of course you want to win. You don't come here just to be here. Everybody wants to win, and Dave Van Horn made that very clear. But for Arkansas to be here and have the season end here in the national semifinals, that's what he's talking about. It was a great run. Of course they're disappointed that they didn't win. They wanted to win as bad as anybody else. They ran into an ace, and sometimes you just got to tip your cap. So, again, don't make it seem like this season was a failure. Like this College World Series run was a failure, because it definitely was not.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I think, something he was saying too was, I think the worst part of all this is how much turnover they're about to have. All these seniors and draft-eligible sophomores and juniors that are about to leave and either graduate and do whatever they're going to do for the rest of their life or play minor league and Major League Baseball, and it's just a bummer when it ends. We all know it's coming. It's in one way or another. It's coming, but to end today and then we know we're potentially losing Caden Wallace, Connor Nolan, the guy that pitched today is probably going to the draft too, and then a bunch of other guys that started today. it's just, it's just a bummer the way it, when it ends like that. And it's like, man, we wish we had one more. As fans and viewers, like, we wish we had one more game. And then as players, obviously, like, they just want one more time to hit the field together. So kind of bummed, but personally I am. But, very, very proud of them, and definitely a success, and something a season that we'll remember, kind of like last season. Like, we're going to remember that one too. But yeah, just so close. So close.
Yep. So we don't know exactly when we're going to have our season recap episode up. I'm sure we'll talk to Dave Van Horn at some point back in Fayetteville, but as far as, game coverage, post-game recaps, series recaps, we're done. And we appreciate everybody who listened this season. I'll give a more heartfelt thank you later on, but you have something to say?
Yeah, I got one question. We can get to it now, or we can kind of say, hey, we'll think about it. But it's from Tyler Goodall. He said, what's your guys' best moment of the season or favorite moment of the season?
I think we'll save that.
Okay.
I think we'll save it. So thank you to our sponsors, Matt Morris State Farm, First Eat Pub and Grill, Barley and Vine, and the Odd Soul for getting us here. All those great places. You can go check them out. Definitely the restaurants, Matt Morris State Farm. If you want to save money on your insurance, give him a call. And thank you to Robert and Christian. And thank you to everybody who listened during this this awesome week that we had in Omaha. We're thankful, and we'll talk to everybody in the season recap.
You've been listening to the Diamond Hogs Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Choate Mason and at DRStew32.